I'm hanging out with me mate, Woodstock Bob. How you going, Bob? He's been waiting to go fishing ever since ISO started, and let's just say the effects haven't been great, have they, mate? Probably because he's drunk half that bottle you see sitting next to him. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Bob. We're here to talk about knots. Now, a knot that I hear commonly asked for, or everyone wants to know, is what's the best knot to tie from your braid to your leader mono? Now, I've always said the best knot to tie is the one you're very good at tying. So there are quite a few different sort of knots you can use. There are a double uni, there is a slim beauty, there is an Albright, there is an FG. Now I must admit FG is probably one of the strongest knots, and very well if it's very well tied, but it is very time consuming and you don't need to go to that extreme because I'm pretty sure those knots were invented to catch GTs, and in Melbourne there aren't many GTs around. But for snapper, gummies, mulloway, surf fishing, my main knot is a 60-pound mono leader and a 30-pound braid. So the sort of knot I'm going to be tying is called an Albright. There are a couple of different variations of an Albright knot. I'm going to show you the one that's worked for me the best, and it's very simple to tie. You get your mono leader, you make a loop. You get your braid end, goes through the loop, and you pinch it there. You bring the braid around the tag end and the main line around about 6 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I used to go back down 6 times, but I found sometimes the knot would slip. So I found going back down 4 times over the 6 wrap holds it just that little bit better. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now with the tag end of that braid, it comes back out the same way it came in of that loop. So basically through there, and you just slide that down very carefully. Always wet it at the end to stop any friction burn, and you just sort of feather it down till it grips at the bottom, and then you get both main lines and pull tight. And you snip it off as close as you can to the knot with the mono without touching the braid for obvious reasons. Same with the braid tag end. We will snip that off. Now, always give it a good test. You don't want to be grabbing braid around your hand because it will literally rip your skin off. So you get a rag or something, your jumper, whatever you got handy, wrap the braid around your hand a couple of times. Make sure you always test your knots. Now that's an Albright, or an improved Albright, and that has brought me in 20 kilo schoolfish off the surf beach on a surf rod. That is brought in mulloway, snapper, and that knot has never let me down when it's tied properly. So there's one knot for you guys. I hope that's helped you out or given you a better idea of what knots to use. Now, practice your knots. While we're doing nothing, not going fishing, practice as many as you can and find what works for you. I found the Albright works for me really well. Something that works better for you, go with that. Anyway, cheers to you. I'm going to go have a beer with Bob.